The Gen Z hater problem. Let's get into it.
The whole generation is bad at a lot of things. Bad at not getting addicted to vaping and making up new...
Ooh, like we... Okay, before I even start the video, I was talking about teens getting addicted. I feel like Gen Z is the worst. Just because, like, getting hands on a vape is so easy nowadays. You know, back then, it would have been harder. But now, it's just easy, dude. Someone around the fucking corner can sell you one, you know? And I feel like Gen Z... I don't know. Gen Z might be the most addicting generation. Because back then, they had cigarettes or whatever, and that's really it. Now, there's fucking cigarettes, cigars, Juuls, vapes. But I don't know. I feel like Gen Z is the most addicted. Because, no, it's not even just the smoking part. It's the the energy drinks. Because I have so many people that I know who are addicted to energy drinks. Doom scrolling. People are addicted to doom scrolling. So, no, Gen Z is definitely one of the most addicted fucking generations of all time. Okay, so apparently Ghost Baby's account is Jayon, and this Muddy doesn't save mod, but he has many... He doesn't save VOD, but he has many clips. Maybe I'll look into his account after this video.
New methods to get high. Bad at focusing for longer than 5 minutes without having to scroll on TikTok for an hour. Bad at not ordering DoorDash 4 to 5 times a week. But what Gen Z
Alright, wait. Before I even get into that, before we get more into it, okay, the ordering food, okay, I might have that problem. I be ordering McDonald's hella. And I definitely have that problem, okay? It's definitely gone better, though, but I used to fucking order that shit, like, every day, every 2 days. That shit was so bad. It was during summer, too. Luckily, I'm not too addicted to that no more, fucking ordering food, you know? Sadly, I have a habit of TikTok scrolling. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really... Like, all the times I've had TikTok, I've never really been addicted to doom scrolling, you know? I can fucking go, like... Of course, I need, like, an hour of TikTok a day, you know? Not even. I like 30 minutes, you know, just some scrolling. I don't need to doom scroll for hours, though. If we look at the screen time on my phone, that shit's going to be, what? An hour of TikTok? Maybe even less, because school's in the way, too. I can't be on my phone during school, so, like, I don't have that problem, really. I tend to scroll for more than 1 hour. Yeah, I feel like the only good time to scroll is when you're free, you know. You don't need to do anything. Like, if it's late at night, you know, you're getting ready to bed, go ahead, scroll. If it's the morning, you can scroll a little bit. I recommend getting up and getting with your day, though. But no, scrolling is definitely a bad habit in this generation, so.
Is hate. There's no generation that is as hateful or vile as much as Gen Z is. There's generations that grew up and fought in wars, and I swear they're still not as hateful as us. If the people that fought in wars had to sit at a middle school or high school lunch table in 2016 and get roasted, they'd leave with more PTSD than on the war field. Nowadays, it seems like everything that goes viral...
Wait, chat, y'all can hear the audio good, right? The video?
Wait, chat, y'all can hear the audio good, right?
Wait, let me test it real quick.
People that fought in wars had to sit at a middle school or high school lunch table in 2016 and get roasted.
Alright, I'm gonna put the speaker closer just so y'all hear it better.
More PTSD than on the war field. Nowadays, it seems like everything that goes...
Nah, but this generation is definitely one of the most hated, just because if you post a Instagram reel, dude, all your comments is gonna be flooded with so much fucking hate. And Instagram is definitely one of the worst platforms to be hated on, just because the whole Instagram, like, algorithm is fucking haters. If it's the littlest thing, hate. Even with TikTok, you know, maybe even YouTube Shorts, hate. YouTube Shorts is probably down there, though. Like, not up there with TikTok and Instagram. Just because YouTube is just filled with brain rot kids. TikTok and Instagram, though, there's definitely hella hate on them. I literally get hate on my clips every day. Like, I get hated on my clips every day, you know. Do I let that affect me? No. They're just fucking little kids who have no fucking life, you know. Okay.
Is due to some type of hating. Think of some of the biggest things last year. Drake versus Kendrick, making fun of Ice Spice, happy for the elimination of the healthcare CEO. Alright, that one's a little more valid, but you get my point. We've kind of thrived on hate, like how the ancient Romans had Colosseum fights, and the crowd would cheer when it was a person versus a lion to see if they would win over bloodshed. I wanted to talk about...
And I really only find hate good is if it's towards a good cause. You know, like Ice. Let's use Ice for example. Who likes Ice, you know? And if this is a clip, if this is on YouTube and y'all are in the comments talking about, yo, Ice is goated and shit, they're not. Ice is so lame. They're one of the least, like, they're not even fucking cops. They're wannabe cops, basically. They fucking kill people for no reason. I've heard some weird shit, you know, I can't say it on stream, but I've heard some weird shit that ICE has done to people, holding their son hostage just so their mother can do stuff. I'm not going to say what on Twitch, but, like, ICE, like, we can use ICE as an example. I like to hate on ICE, because ICE is so fucking lame. They're just the lamest people ever. And I see edits of ICE, sometimes I'm like, yo, these are cornballs making these edits, just because ICE is so fucking stupid.
Out because there's been this trend on TikTok hating on a certain rapper. Someone you all should know. Like, I could literally put a picture of his hair and you would all guess it. XXXTentacion.
Wait, there was hate on him? I never knew there was hate on, I never knew there was hate on him. What the hell? No, there was, because there was a trend going around about him. There was a trend going around about him. I don't fully remember the trend, but there was a trend. And it was definitely, like, hateful. And fucking making fun of a dead dude, you know?
X took over the rap game was something I think we haven't seen since he came out. This man was in jail and Look At Me came out and was going viral. He went in jail as a pretty unknown guy, then overnight became a celebrity. It was like one day on the internet you started to see these variations of profile pictures of X. And I can't lie, I was one of them dudes in school rocking the X profile picture. He had that cult-like rap following that only a certain...
Okay, I can relate to that. I've had a profile like that before. Sadly, we can't say shit about them. They have higher ranking than us, and they can't do shit to us that will affect us. Yeah. And they can do shit that... Yeah, exactly, dude. But they think they have higher ranks than cops. I literally saw a video... No, I saw a video on TikTok, right? I'm just scrolling. I see a video of an ICE officer getting pressed by a police officer, dude. That shit had me cracking up. Just because ICE thought they had a higher rank than the fucking police. Even though the police, they're way higher than ICE, you know.
Amount of rappers have. Nowadays, his closest equivalent is probably Cardi Glazers. You got Ye fans, Travis Scott fans, YoungBoy fans. But I would say out of all of them, he was...
Talking about rappers, though, we definitely have some underground rappers coming up, you know. We definitely do. Like not too long ago, Osama-san came out. Netspin, you know them. SD Kid, like them, you know, they're coming up. I fuck with the underground rappers heavy. I fuck with them heavy.
Was blowing them out the water with the amount of grass he had on his fans, even just from my account. I used to be staying updated on everything he had going on, and he was always...
And Jaden Violet, too. I can say Jaden Violet. He's definitely coming up in the underground rapping world.
Some type of drama. So you could always check his Instagram story and there being a chance he's dissing one of your favorite rappers. And even if you didn't listen to him or didn't care about him, you had no choice but to see him because the social media pages were posting him all the time. I remember so many were trying to sound like X and even copy the cadence he talks in. He was relatable to a lot of the younger generation because he would talk about his depression and what he's going through, and also give motivational talks all the time, telling people to chase their dreams. The last rapper to do something like that for a generation was Ye, which is why when he passed away, it was such a big deal to people. And for a long time, people have talked about his impact online and how big he could have potentially been. But now, apparently on TikTok, people have been hating on him? Like, this isn't some small trend or something. It's a huge, big trend on there. We all know, since X was always talking about his depression and his thoughts all the time, they would always use his songs and him speaking in sad edits and emo edits. We can never forget that Bart Simpson profile picture. I'm glad to say I was not one of those dudes rocking that.
Yeah, no, the Bart Simpson one, when I first saw that, dude, I was fucking cringe from that shit. Just, like... Even when I was younger, dude, I wouldn't see things as cringe. I saw that as cringe, dude. Just because, dude. That was a big trend, too. The Bart Simpson sad profile picture, that shit was a big trend as well.
People would hear what he said and act fake depressed online.
My life sucks, man. If people only knew the pain and anguish I went through to be here, they'd respect me more.
Jimmy, your parents live in the richest part of Beverly Hills in a $5 million house. Them Bart Simpson edit videos used to go crazy back in the day on YouTube, though. And was X sometimes exaggerated with getting his point across? Yes. So people have been bringing up these clips recently, posting him acting like that back in the day and kind of clowning him.
Do you have any relationship with your father?
What's that? What's a father?
No, this is the trend I'm talking about right now. This is the trend I was just talking about, dude. The trend about XXX, dude. This trend is just like disrespectful, low key. Like, just let a dead dude just rest in peace, you know. When we were younger, this shit was like. I was cringing about that when it was trending, because what the fuck? They act like they were depressed when they were just doing it for fame. Not real. Back then, dude, and even still now, people do the like craziest shit just to get fame, dude. Like, they will be attention seeking, any of that, just for fucking fame, dude. That's why I don't like this generation.
Mental illness, or do you suffer
The newest generation, though, they're even worse. I can't lie.
from depression? Do I think I suffer from mental illness?
Now, like, real shit, though, XXX was, like, probably, like, he was telling his heart on these, dude. And people are just, like, fucking years later, they make a trend out of it. I don't know why.
That's the last thing I'll say in the video. You can keep that in there, though.
And plus, back then, this isn't cringe, you know. Ranking cringes XX Tentacion moments, you know. That's not cringe. It's him fucking coming out to the fucking social media. And then years later, they see it as corny. Because back then, that shit was not corny. Now they do. Just because social media. You know, if social media was never a thing, we saw this shit on, like, the news or whatever, I wouldn't see this shit as corny, you know. Social media made shit corny, so.
Sasha Onfroy was weak. X is the complete opposite. X desires control. Controversy.
Like, bro, it's one thing posting him and saying this is kinda cringe looking back on it. To be honest, a lot of that stuff just didn't age well from that era. You could look back on any era and there's always gonna be some cringe things. But people in the comments be talking about he had to go. Or be talking about his music wasn't good. Like, where did this hate come from? That's brand
Nah,
new
the
to
Juice WRLD, no. The music is fire. The music was fire. I don't know what they're talking about.
me. Because for the longest, everyone was saying how talented X was and how far he
Yeah, X
could
has
be.
good
But
music.
now, because of a couple of viral TikToks, he's all of a sudden the most corny person and was never good. This guy probably explains it best from what I've seen happen on TikTok.
Let's not play like X wasn't cool as shit. Y'all love to
No,
fake
the internet switched up so fast. That is so fucking true. That is so fucking true, dude. The internet will switch up like, boom, switch up. What's good, King? I did not know you've been saying stuff. My chat on my phone was not showing your chats. I'm so sorry. I'm not seeing some of your chats. Is my phone chat bugging? Because I didn't see these chats. I've only been seeing DuckDuck's, like, only a few chats. Oh, shit, dude. Dude, that shit was tweaking, bro. My chat on my phone was tweaking. I'm sorry to every chat I missed. Sorry about that. King, I don't know if you're still in here. I'm doing good. So sorry about that. These chats were not going through. I don't know why. I do not know why. That's stupid. But no, the internet does switch up like fucking boom. I'm still here, W King. Like boom. One post, you know. Boom. Next day. That shit's not even like famous no more. You know, that shit's not trending. You know. One person on a TikTok says, yeah, Juice WRLD has bad music. If that shit goes viral, everyone's saying that shit. Like, love how some people who are hating on XXX was also once a XXX obsessed back then. Yeah, and the people who like are hating him now and was obsessed back then are just attention seeking. I can't lie. Cause like, yes, I can say some of his songs aren't good, but like some of his songs are good. Like, how are you gonna like a song and then just like years later, after everyone's coming out saying how his music's bad, you come out and say, yeah, his music's ass, even though you used to watch him listen to him every fucking day. So that's what I don't understand. This generation is kind of slow.
Support someone,
And yes, I'm in this generation. I'm Gen Z. I'm 2010, but still, I actually have common sense towards this shit. You know.
second, like some bad shit come out, you're always like, damn, like I knew from the beginning. Like I was one of them ones who was like, I knew from the beginning. I was a day one hater, because that's not even a flex, dude. Was not hating on X before that clip came out. You just hopping on the wave. Y'all love to bring a nigga down, bro. Y'all love to see someone who's been getting constant love, and the second some controversy come out,
Dang, you're 2010. What the fuck? You didn't. Wait, do I look older, DuckDuck? I need you to be honest. Do I look older than 2010? Do I look older than 15? Because every single time someone doesn't know my age, and then my age goes out there, they're like, what the fuck? I thought you were 16, 17. And it's crazy, because, like, when I look at myself, I see 15-year-old. I don't see no 17-year-old, you know? But yeah, I'm 2010. I'm 2010. I turned 15 in November. And chat, I did. Okay, I know I'm late. I'm getting my license late. But I did my fucking permit exam last night, so I'm getting my permit next week when my dad gets back from work. Thought you're older than most of our younglings? Yeah, no, so a lot of people think I'm older than how old I am, so.
Y'all trying to act like he was bad the whole time, when in reality you was just waiting for a moment to finally bring his name down. Why is everyone saying they knew he was corny when he had so much love and not a hater was in sight? Like, somebody's lying. Do I have a father?
Where the fuck does that, dude? What the fuck? Oh, wait, did he just?
Do I have a father? What's that?
As soon as a couple people turn on someone, everybody's gonna act like they always thought that person was corny and never good. At the end of the day, back then,
people switch up, dude. Even your bestest friends can switch up on you. So I gotta be careful who y'all trust.
everyone was a little more cornier, especially if you're younger still. But like, do you know what we used to wear? This was the average fit back in 2017.
So I'm writing an essay on cats.
Cats
in art history.
Cats in art history.
I'm an art history major, and this final is due on Friday.
Dude.
It's crazy how in our generation, a couple of TikToks of someone being cringe go viral, and people shift from loving the person to hating them. There was a time when you talked to any on X for years, people would come for you. I think what a lot of this hate is really coming down to is either those kids who used to listen to him grew up and are cringing looking back on it, and new kids are coming in who never listen to X and are just on him. Back in the day, would watch this and think it's the toughest thing of all time. I feel like with our generation, making fun of dead people who never did anything is a common thing. Like, I remember when the George Floyd protests were going on and people were making memes of George Floyd. It wouldn't be funny 99% of the time, too. It was just cringe. Another thing that showed me how hateful our generation is was when gender arguments and people started to dedicate podcasts to hating another gender. I think the sole reason
another big trend on the hating thing was the console hate, dude. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna fucking hate on someone who's playing PlayStation and I'm an Xbox player. Yeah, and yes, I'll admit, I used to be in the console hate, you know, I used to hate on someone who had the opposite console of me, you know. But realistically now, like, be grateful for what you got, you know. If you got an Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, whatever you got, be grateful for it, you know. If you're gonna hate on someone for having a different console, like, what? Like, the fuck does a different console change anything, you know? Yeah, it's like a wave effect. One rock that is thrown in the water, the waves got bigger and bigger. Yeah. But no, the console hate was a big trend too. I wonder if he's gonna talk about it. I don't know if he will, but no, that was a big hate. You know, it was either your PlayStation or Xbox. You know, I was always the Xbox person. You know, but I definitely got hated just for having an Xbox. I'm forever in the console hate. Yeah, let's lock in, Mark.
Why the birth rate is declining worldwide is because the people that run these stupid ass podcasts. In the past, you went out to find someone and had your criteria.
Real shit, dude. Let's talk about the fucking Hawk Tuah podcast. Let's talk about the fucking Hawk Tuah podcast, dude. Holy shit, that was one of the fucking worst. Like, that's one of the worst podcasts ever. And there was one podcast that I seen that was actually interesting, you know, funny and shit. And then just like most of the other podcasts, just no. Like, no. Like the Hawk Tuah, you know. She fucking blew up. She blew up because she said 2 fucking words. And she made a podcast and everything for it. Oh, she was like, Hawk Tuah. And then fucking a week later, a whole fucking podcast, dude. Like, what the fuck? I guess, bro. I guess.
Then boom, marriage. But nowadays people get swayed for a potential option because they had Fresh and Fit tell them otherwise.
This is a very unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think if you're in a serious relationship with a girl, she should not have an Instagram. That's cheating.
Gen Z men are boring.
What the fuck? What did I just hear? Wait.
Potential option because they had Fresh and Fit tell them otherwise.
I hate this unique chat mode. What is that, Duck?
This is a very unpopular opinion, but I'm going to say it anyway. I think if you're in a serious relationship with a girl, she should not have an Instagram. That's cheating.
Alright, it's a fucking social media app. Okay, first off, it's a social media app. I don't know what the dude in the clip was talking about. If, like, my fucking girlfriend has Instagram. I don't give any shits that she has a fucking social media app, you know. I can't send something similar to my previous chat. Wait, is that something I can turn off? Is that something I can turn off? Because that's stupid. That's stupid. I don't want that on. I don't know. Probably gonna be moderation. Probably. I don't know. What I'm looking at, I'm not seeing anything that will let me. So. I mean, I think this is for those that is non-VIP. Oh, if it's like oh, okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, no, I think that's how it is. I think that's how it is.
Gen Z men are boring. Men are boring. You're lazy. You're boring. You don't.
All right, now first off, okay, I understand why she's mad at this person, but saying all boys are lazy and annoying.
Gen Z men are boring. Men are boring. You're lazy. You're boring. You don't have hobbies. You're unambitious. You don't know how to talk to women. You're not respectful.
Yeah, I don't know what she's fucking talking about here. I don't know what she's talking about, because let's say in the streaming world, like males are taking most of it off. Okay, like they're blowing that shit up. Most all of them are funny. They're following something. They're making money off of it. And this girl's saying there's fucking like Rakai, dude. Saying
I think we're at the
lazy
point
and
where
shit.
these type of dumbass people aren't getting as much attention anymore. Both men and women are absolutely tired of this shit. I know
They
this
just
no matter
want
how
fame,
much
really.
they fearmonger these
Attention.
things. Saying something like all these girls out here are gold diggers and will pretend to love you. Or saying all these dudes are manipulating you and are always ready to cheat. I almost never see these type of situations happen in real life. And if I do, it's like one
No,
or
real
two
shit. I look at this. I've never seen a situation like that. I've never really seen a situation like that.
cases I've seen in my whole lifetime. You gotta realize the reason why these people are saying these situations are so common is because they hang out in those type of environments. The average person is not running into this a lot of times. And it's showing more that the person that runs into this stuff all the time just has choices at picking. But because of social media and because their voices are so amplified, it's why it's a common thing for men and women of our generation to run around with these ideas. Another thing that showed me how hateful we are is politics. There was no other generation where
Oh yeah, politics is a big thing. If he starts talking about it, I might have to skip through the video because talking about politics and shit that's TOS. So. But
someone's
no, politics are definitely a big hated community.
political view pissed you off,
Yeah, look, I have to skip this part about politics.
that could Gen Z ain't have a single chance.
Sorry to the people who are watching this on YouTube, I have to skip it. That's talking about politics and shit is TOS on Twitch.
Start to see a couple of posts relating to that side, your whole feed is eventually going to be full of it. And it's not fixes, so you have to pick one. The Trump rallies where you'll see riding you've never seen in your life. The social media algorithm kind of makes it so you have to pick one side and one.
Yeah, the man or bear in the lion or the woman war, honestly, I think the fight is BS because, yeah, they're man. Who would people, but they're good man. And don't forget there's female that also would. Each gender is as innocent as they think. See, duck, duck, nose, ball, dude. Like I see on TikTok, you know, I will see some drama. It will be a girl's perspective, a boy's perspective, you know. And on the girl, like, no hate. On the girl's perspective, it's a lot. And also on the males, it's a lot. I don't get it. I really don't get it. If y'all are gonna just have, like, why have drama? I haven't really had drama in my life, so I don't understand it. There's some good men out there. Yeah, exactly. And there's some good women out there, you know. But they say one girl looks at a man differently, and she looks at all of them differently. Same as with men, too. So, I don't know, dude. It's weird. Drama's weird and everything. I don't fully even understand drama, dude.
Side only, which has affected Gen Z the most. It's proven we have the biggest political gap and worst arguing. Because as soon as you start to see a couple of posts relating to that side, your whole feed is eventually going to be full of it. And it's not people's fault. Social media has manufactured it to be like that. There's a lot of victims out there who
is the rest
When Gen Z starts raising kids, these are going to drill their beliefs into their kids' minds. Talk about parents should not be telling you about the political and economic.
Oh yeah, no, the rest is politics. I cannot watch the rest of this, but W video for sure. I just turned a fucking 10-minute video